If you could get in on Amazon 15 years ago, would you? Well, the Russian e-commerce market seems to be emerging just like the US market did 15 years ago, and Ozon looks best positioned to capitalize on this movement. This is the Max Invest YouTube channel, and we do daily deep dives into some of your favorite companies. If you enjoy the video, remember to like and subscribe, and also remember, nothing said here is financial advice. Now let's get into the video. Ozon is one of the leading e-commerce platforms in Russia. It connects merchants with millions of customers and provides door delivery across Russia's 11 time zones. It contains the leading travel agency, Ozon Travel, and it has 260,000 debit cards, showing it is more than just an e-commerce company. There are 18,000 merchants and 11.4 million customers, numbers that are only expected to grow as Ozon expands at a rapid rate. It is one of the top 5 most valuable internet companies in Russia, along with other massive names like Yandex. It is the fastest growing retail player in all of Russia, and it won the Best Employer Award in 2020, showing it is indeed a massive company. It offers over 5 million products, and this is a similar amount to companies like Amazon and other e-commerce companies overseas, showing that it can be that e-commerce Goliath of Russia. Ozon has had some insane growth. Its sellers have been consistently growing, and in March its sellers over doubled. Ozon has also had a steady growth in its customer base, reaching 11.4 million from previously 7.9 million in Q4 of 2019 and 6.6 million in Q3 of 2019. That's nearly doubling year over year. Also, Ozon's gross merchandise value has increased significantly. This is an important metric as it basically means the total value of all of the goods that Ozon is selling. Ozon's gross merchandise value grew 142% year over year, being 3 times faster than the overall e-commerce market for Russia. Previously, it's been growing at 90% per year, and it shows that Ozon has been doing very well recently. Russia has 113 million internet users and is the 11th largest global economy. This means e-commerce is likely to be constantly growing in Russia because such a massive percentage of the 147 million people there are using the internet, and it is quite a wealthy country, meaning many people will probably be ordering online. As we can see, Ozon has made roughly 1.3 billion in revenue in 2020, and this is expected to grow to nearly 2 billion this year. Some insane growth of 49.3%. Let's take a look at the massive market opportunity that Ozon has going into the future. Russia's retail market is 520 billion. Russia's e-commerce market is 31 billion. And in 2019, Ozon did less than $1 billion in GMV. As we saw before, this is now greater than $1 billion. Therefore, we can conclude the Russian e-commerce market is quite fragmented, as we'll see in the next slide, and the Russian e-commerce market does not take up that large of a percentage of the total retail market. This is similar to many countries like the US 15 years or so ago. There is an internet audience of 113 million, which is a very high internet penetration. As we can see, Russia is far behind many other countries in e-commerce, despite this massive amount of internet users. Russia's e-commerce market only has 6% penetration with the 31 billion out of 520 billion. However, countries like China have 27% and the US has 15%. The UK has 18%, and we can see Russia has significant catch-up potential here as it is only just developing like some of those other countries, becoming more and more wealthy, and more people are using these e-commerce services. This is shown by Ozon's massive growth, and it looks clear that e-commerce is the future in Russia. The market is also highly fragmented, with only 18% in Russia, whereas 83% in India, 77% in China, 46% in the US. This means there's a lot of e-commerce companies in Russia right now. However, Ozon has the biggest brand recognition and is one of the biggest e-commerce companies, along with others like Yandex and Wildberries. I do believe that Ozon is well positioned to take a much greater percentage of this market share, as it is already one of the massive players and is far ahead of many other countries or companies in their development. As we have already seen, Ozon has had a very nice increase in GMV. Ozon has also increased revenue from around 800 million in 2019 to 1.3 billion in 2020. Ozon is also the largest company to IPO, make an initial public offering, on the US market in 2020. It had an original aim to gain 750 million out of this IPO. However, it raised 1.3 billion and has got some high hopes for Ozon going into the future. As we can see, Ozon has had some massive GMV increases. Ever since 2017, it increased 46%, 74%, 93%, and just recently 142%. It has had some insane year-over-year growth, and its active sellers have been constantly increasing. As we can see, Ozon has had negative adjusted EBITDA. This is, however, becoming significantly less negative and is looking like Ozon is edging towards profitability. We must remember, companies like Amazon did not become profitable until 2018. It is extraordinarily expensive to run an e-commerce business, and it does make sense why Ozon is not profitable. And I do believe this has a good chance of changing into the future. The free cash flow for Ozon is also quite negative, however becoming far less negative, just like the adjusted EBITDA, showing that Ozon is moving towards profitability, but not yet profitable. I will also note that the Ozon team have said they are moving Ozon towards profitability at a rapid pace. Adjusted EBITDA has gone from negative 19% to negative 4% as a percentage of GMV services in only 1 year. This basically means they are working Ozon towards profitability at a significant rate, and it is shown in the free cash flows and adjusted EBITDA getting less negative, but Ozon believe that this is going to change soon and these will be in the positives. Let's take a look at Ozon's balance sheet. Now, it was difficult to find Ozon's balance sheet as they don't have the same reporting standards in Russia and they only recently came onto the US market. However, they have a current ratio of roughly 0.5, meaning they have half as many total current assets as total current liabilities. Obviously, this is not good for a business, and it also does not have a good debt to equity ratio. This means the business is under some threat of bankruptcy, and the only way really to avoid this is just to keep growing at the rapid rate that they are, and eventually these ratios will start picking up. However, a balance sheet like Ozon's, it makes it pretty risky to invest in this company. Amazon and many other companies did have similar balance sheets to this, and to invest in this company you need high faith in the management team and high faith that they will do well into the future. Another key metric Warren Buffett likes to use is checking for competitive advantages. This is especially good for a company like Ozon as it runs in an environment with high competition, so we need to see how it will beat the competitors. One competitive advantage Ozon has is its insane brand recognition. Ozon is the most recognized online shopping destination in Russia, with unaided brand awareness of 32% compared to AliExpress at 19.7% and Wildberries at 18.3%. This shows people recognize it far more than all of the other companies, and it means Ozon is likely to grow at more of a rapid rate as more people know about Ozon, and more people will be likely to go to Ozon first for all of their e-commerce needs. This has helped Ozon grow significantly more than the overall e-commerce market, with 3 times the GMV growth than all other companies. Ozon also believe that they have some significant competitive advantages. They are the most recognized e-commerce brand in Russia, as we have already discussed. They also have the largest pickup infrastructure operator in Russia. This is insane, and it means Ozon are best positioned to deliver goods to all of the people in Russia and will be best positioned to grow out of all of the other e-commerce companies. They can cover 40% of the population with next day delivery. This is significant, as Russia is by far the biggest country in the world with 11 different time zones and 147 million people. So to see that they can cover this much of a spread out population in an extremely short time period is very significant for the company. They have a 231 square kilometre fulfillment area. This is up from 50 square kilometres in 2017, and it looks like they can basically get to the entirety of Russia, and this will expand even further. Ozon can do this because they have 2,700 delivery people and 12,100 pickup points. This logistics is far superior to any other company in the e-commerce space, and it helps Ozon capitalize on this e-commerce growth. Ozon also have the largest multi-category assortment. This means Ozon basically have everything. As we've already said, they have over 5 million products, and anything you want can be found on Ozon, which is great because it means people are going to go look to Ozon for all of their purchasing and e-commerce needs. It was difficult to find too much on Ozon's management team. Ozon was founded by Alexander Egorov in 1998, who doesn't seem to be working for Ozon anymore. The CEO is Alexander Shulgin, who was CEO in 2017. He has held notable positions in Coca-Cola and Yandex. This seems very similar for the rest of the leadership team, who have also held positions in Yandex. Shulgin pushed for the IPO, causing so much investment into the brand, which was clearly a very good idea. The leadership team has helped perpetuate this insane growth, as ever since this new leadership team came in around 2015 to 2017, the company has seen so much more growth in the last 5-6 years than it ever did 15 years before that. This new management team has really helped push significant growth, and as we can see, they have a proven track record of execution. They have helped the business become more profitable over 2019 to 2020. They have helped this massive GMV increase never seen before in the company, and they have helped this fulfillment footprint increase in Ozon. Ozon is a relatively risky investment. It has a poor balance sheet. It is not profitable yet. It has heaps of competition, and there's a harsh stance being taken on Russia and the US. Now, the balance sheet is a big risk because it could become bankrupt. The competition is a big risk, as Ozon may not be able to compete well into the future, and its competition may beat it, making it a poor investment. I have already said I do believe it will beat the competition. However, there is always a risk that it will not. There is heaps. There is Yandex, Wildberries, AliExpress, Boxberries, endless e-commerce competition in Russia. Also, it's important to note that Biden has recently been taking a harsher stance on Russia and saying certain things about Vladimir Putin and all that, and this could potentially mean a delisting is possible. I don't think so, but it's something to keep your eye out for. It's important you know the risks before investing in the company, and remember, it's not a low-risk company like Apple or Amazon or the more established companies that we see today. I'm going to share with you my subjective opinions on what a fair price for Ozon is at this current stage. Ozon has recently shot up significantly, up from $45 just a week or so ago to $66, and in the past few days has pulled back from $66 to roughly $60. I believe that since Ozon has shot up so much, it's got a bit more room of pulling back to do, and $55 somewhere around there is a pretty fair price. Ozon has a market cap of 14 billion. However, there is 11.4 million buyers, 5 million products, over $1 billion in revenue. It's approaching profitability. It only just IPO'd in the US. Heaps of other e-commerce companies in other countries have market caps of over 100 billion, and I do think $14 billion market cap for Ozon, I think that's pretty low. So I think anywhere around these prices are pretty good prices, and I may look to buy some Ozon in the upcoming weeks. I haven't got any yet. However, I may make an entry point depending on what I decide to do, as it is a risky company. Obviously, none of this is financial advice. That's the end of the video. Thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed the video, please remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.